Good morning everybody and welcome to the channel Gang and Peanut, two peas in a pod. I'm Gang and today I'm going to be following up on a previous video where I mentioned that I like to reuse, repurpose and recycle things in the greenhouse and in the garden on the allotment. So today I'm going to be talking to you about one or two things that I do. Now recently I paid £3.50 for a coffee, and whilst I was getting the coffee I noticed these, and I thought that they would make great markers for in a row or in a pot where you'd be growing something, a label. And what I've done is this. Jazzed them up a little bit, made them nice and bright, and I think they'll be fantastic markers, and they cost me nothing except for £3.50 for the coffee in the first place. And they may only last a season or two. They're not particularly durable looking of wood, but I thought they'd be a bit of fun. So that's one of the things that I've done. Another thing I have are these. And I use these to put on the end of a cane, just like the purpose-made one that you would buy. And I got these from some builders that were doing some groundworks. And I believe they put these on top of the rebar, I think it's called, to protect their eyes. Exactly the same thing as we do with these in the garden. So I asked, can I have some? And they said yes. So again, I've repurposed some of these, and they are fantastic. There's no way you're going to take your eye out on one of them. Give yourself a black eye, but that would probably be the extent of it. A hook that came with the purchase of some clothing. I can't remember what it was, but it came. Do you want the hanger? Yes, we do. And that is a great little hook to hang something up. But you can keep, I don't know, let's have a look. Ooh, there we go. Cost me nothing. Would have gone in the skip, in the bin, into landfill, repurposing it. That is what I like to try and do. And you've all seen me when I was growing the peas in the gutter, and I used the food containers to cover the top with these, and the peas are quite happy under there, and they've grown through. I also like to start seedlings off in here. Scatter some seed, a little bit of compost, let them come through, and then you can prick them out, pop them on another plastic that would have gone into landfill, which is being repurposed. My grandson Peanut had some sweets from a well-known sweet brand. I can't show you, but you'll probably recognise the sign. There we are. Again, another little tray, which I thought would be perfect. A 7-inch pot. It's now its own mini grow house. Fantastic. And when whatever you've got in there's grown, a watering tray. Again, I like to try and think, what can I do with a lot of things that I see that are going to be discarded? Plus, if I went out to buy a watering tray or went out to buy a mini grow house, well, I'm getting one for free, aren't I? Let's pop them there. Now, another thing that I've done is I like to use the water bottle with the holes pierced in the top. You've seen me use these. Simply give it a little squirt and the water comes out just like a small watering can. And I love using these. They're easy to use, easy to make. A few holes in the top. They're done. One litre, I believe they're 1 litre milk cartons. And again, you could use this, a few holes pierced in the top, use it again for watering. Or you could fill it with water, use it as a weight. Be ideal for keeping down some netting that you put over your brassicas, or some the mesh netting that you're putting over your onions on the sides where it comes down. If you don't want to pin through it, or you don't have any objects to keep it weighed down, fill some of these with some water or sand or soil or compost. Perfect little weight. Or you could use them to grow things in by cutting the sides out like this. You cut the front out and the side. You now have a great little container that you could fill with compost. I don't know, what could you grow in? You could grow some lettuce in there, strawberries, spring onions. Cheap way of growing some crops. If you want, you could put a bit of string there and hang them from somewhere with a hook, or you could have several of them with a post or a pole through the back fixed. You have your own miniature garden container, milk container gardening, we'll call it. So there are just a few ways that I like to recycle, repurpose things. You've just got to keep your eyes open. Now, another thing that I'm sure we all use in the garden at some point are these zip ties or lock ties. They've got different names for them and they come in different sizes, different widths, different lengths. We've all used them at some point, I would imagine. Now, a lot of people, myself included until recently, I thought these were a single-use item. There, they're clipped through. You're tying up whatever you're going to tie up. But if you cut this side and pull that bit through, I've now got an additional tie that I wouldn't have had previously. So you can use these again and again. Obviously they'll get smaller each time, but they're reusable. Same with the smaller ones. You simply push it through. It clicks into place. If you cut it on the correct side, pull that through. I've now got another one, albeit a smaller one. Right, let's pop these out of the way. I'll show you something else that I like to use, and it's these. They're a cup that a coffee came in, a latte coffee, delicious, loved them. And I use these, drill a hole in the bottom, and I grow my sweet corn in these because they're very deep compared to a normal tray that you might start a seed off in. As I say, I use these for the sweet corn. Sweet corn seem to love growing in these. And when they're ready to go out, I simply pop them out. Minimum, absolutely minimum roots disturbance. Pop them in the ground. And I've been using those for several years. Again, it's one of those things. Look at what you're using every day. Can it be repurposed in the greenhouse, in the garden, or in the allotment? And if it can, give it a go. You've got nothing to lose, and perhaps you're saving some of this plastic stuff from ending up in the seas, in the landfill, and possibly having an environmental impact that none of us really want, do we? So, there we have it. Just a few of the things I do in and around the garden, the greenhouse and the allotment to try and reuse some of this plastic stuff. I hope it's given you one or two ideas. If you have ideas of different things that you do, please leave a comment and I'll try to respond to you, and hopefully you can give me one or two good ideas. And if you enjoyed watching the video, please subscribe to the channel, which I believe you can do here and here. Give me a big thumbs up if you like what you see. And as ever, this is Gang and Peanut, 2 peas in a pod. Until next time, take care.